Good Lord. Excellent, excellent. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Inside with Moonshadow Red Nose Day, special edition. Yes. Great to see you guys. I tried to get onto Facebook Live. It just, for some reason, the Facebook Live app is not agreeing with me the past couple of times for broadcasts lately. So I did go on Periscope, and it went phenomenally well. So kudos to people in Periscope, makers of Periscope. It went well. Kind of on the Facebook Live front, unfortunately. So you guys need to fix that, please, because it'd be good to be able to go on a multiple broadcast and platforms to be able to be consistent. So welcome for being here on Inside the Moonshadow Red Nose Day. I am debating on going on Periscope, though. I will say this. So while we're giving a couple minutes, I'm debating on whether to go on Periscope. This is the new shirt. This is the second edition shirt. Nose is on. Oh, never a dull moment. That's for sure. And hopefully, yeah, I think I'll go on Periscope. It's been a while. Let's see if this works. I love it. Thank you so much. That looks awesome. I'm glad we're working with the new stuff going on, with all the new evolvements, what we're doing. I think that's awesome. And you're doing a hell of a job, by the way. You are. So yeah, let's do Periscope. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Okay. Just the downside to having to do this with having a crew would be so awesome. It'll happen. We're gonna manifest that puppy. Oh, what should I call it? What do you think for Periscope? I'm going to abbreviate it. Let's see. Let's see. What's the hatch? What's the hashtag? It's Red Nose Day. Is that U.S. or Red Nose Day? See, this is why I like the fact of the Facebook Live, because it draws in more people quicker. Red Nose Day USA. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Red Nose Day. Or just Red Nose Day. We'll just do Red Nose Day. Okay, should probably flip the camera. There we go. Ah, excellent. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody. Hello, Gene. How are you? How are you? Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Happy Red Nose Day. Yes, it's the Moonshadow Red Nose Day edition, 2017, 5/20. And that's lovely. That's great. Happy Red Nose Day to you, my friend. You got it's great. And this is one potential reason why love Periscope, love the Periscope community. Not a big fan of the Periscope trolls. Not a big fan. Yes. But see, Periscope seems to be running fine though. See? So the platform itself, I think it's going well. Go figure. And thank you for the hearts. I need a boost in hearts. I don't have many. I'm rarely here. So that doesn't help either. But yeah, someone had to give me some trolley love. That's fantastic. That's just lovely. That's the lovely and delicious. Go figure. Welcome, welcome. We're going to start the show in a moment. But if you do have a red nose, throw it on. We're going to give you some tips. You're going to get some tips. If you are on YouTube Live, you're going to find some tips and some information about Red Nose Day. So we're going to just really bring awareness to children's poverty. And that's our intention for today. So if you are here in the room, feel free to say hello, and it'd be great to say hey. Also throw hearts, share it with your friends, share the broadcast. That's also very, very cool. And as always, we are a good juju friendly group. So uh, it'll be great to see some good people spreading the love about Red Nose Day. So yeah, that'd be fantastic. Hey, Mark, long time no see. Hope everything is well. Mock, she's quite the baker. She makes a hell of a cookie. I've never tried her cookies, but I hear they are fabulous. As a matter of fact, I've researched, like I love Biscoff cookies, so I've researched a couple of recipes for the speculoos or Biscoff cookies, so I may actually try to make my own Biscoff cookies because those things are like awesome. They're like delicious and lovely. So yeah, today we are on YouTube Live as well as Periscope, since it's been a while since I've been on Periscope. And of course, I miss all my Perry peeps out there, and I really appreciate and I have lots of Perry love for everybody. Unfortunately, it's just been a long time, but you guys haven't been neglected or not thought of, because there are a lot of really, really awesome people in social media. Some, they could probably click on the X and not bother, but there's room for everybody, of course. So yes, so we're going to probably start the show in about 4 minutes, bringing awareness about children's poverty. And also, too, if you were lucky enough to get a red nose, I know that, and I'll say this again later, but yeah, I just finished giving away red noses over at Walgreens near my house. Young and old, it was quite interesting. It was quite an interesting adventure, giving away red noses in the store. The manager was quite cool, and I even scored a Noses on Red Bell that only the stores can have. They don't sell them, but they gave me one, which is totally cool. That totally rocks. So yeah, so please tell your followers, share the broadcast, and also just come on by. It's going to be interesting conversation talking about Red Nose Day, children's poverty, and other things may pop up that is within the realm of this topic. But yes, so that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely. So, Mark, how's things? Or she could be just background. I know that it's been a while, and there's a lot of Perry people out there. I have been watching replays, but I just haven't broadcasted in a while. So that's the only thing there. It's been a while. I miss it though. I miss scoping, because it's always been a good time to go on Periscope. But there's been a lot of crazy activity, I noticed. A lot of insane stuff that's been going on. So yes. Okay, 2 more minutes and we'll get the show started. At least this year, I don't have a cold. I just sound it when I put on my nose. That's the only thing. I sound a little nasally when I have my nose on. But yes. Oh my God. But yeah, so just for some tidbits of information for you Perry peeps. Now, of course, through the power of entertainment, we have Red Nose Day. So Red Nose Day raises awareness and money to help kids in need and that have poverty, both at home and around the world. So in the last 25 years, they've already raised like about $1 billion. This was started by comic relief. So comedians threw on a red nose and they did this. So they started in 1985 with the use of comedy. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, so we're gonna get the show started and see where it goes from there. So welcome to Insight with Moonshadow. I am Moonshadow, an integrative holistic therapist, intuitive shaman, interfaith minister, and chief evangelist with over 30 years of experience in the healing field internationally. And my intention, of course, is to guide and empower you so you can empower others in your community as well as your world. Now, here I am, I am looking at also, I'm on YouTube Live presently, so you can go ahead on YouTube Live under Insight with Moonshadow on YouTube, or you can still pop here on Periscope, which I am also scoping simultaneously. So feel free to come on by, come on in, and if you have a red nose, pop that puppy on because it's going to be interesting. A lot of information for tonight. And also, too, tonight there's also going to be a large, big to-do with Red Nose Day, which I will be bells on, shirt going, nose wearing, watching the show. Now, I also just came back from Walgreens myself, and I also live streamed on Periscope. So I scoped as well as giving away noses throughout the store. So it was such a great time giving away noses randomly to random people. I just loved it. It was so much fun to just say, to ring the bell. And also that bell, that is only for stores. And no, I didn't nick it. I asked for it and they gladly gave me it too. So I also interviewed the manager. So that was really, really, really cool as well. So that was quite a good time. But through Red Nose Day, now Red Nose Day, this is all through the power of laughter and entertainment. This is how Red Nose Day came about. So you're looking at Red Nose Day awareness they have raised over the last 25 years, they have raised $1 billion, yes, billion dollars globally. So this is pretty huge. Now, also too, any merchandise that you buy through Red Nose Day, other than the taxes, all proceeds go towards children's poverty. All proceeds, except for the taxes, and of course that's because of Uncle Sam wants their tax money. But other than that, the rest of the proceeds completely goes towards a charity. And this is why I'm so heartfelt and so profoundly touched by Red Nose Day, because I love kids. I think they are truly our future. And ultimately, to do anything that's really, really silly and goofy, and it's for a good cause, I'm all for. Sign me up. Now, also too, Comic Relief is what launched in the United Kingdom in 1985 for Red Nose Day. So they were using comedy to raise on, really, if you think about it, a really tragic thing about children's poverty. And a lot of times people don't realize, they see it. But when you see it on television or see it up front in your face, it's a bit different. I've had the opportunity, I want to say it's fortunate and unfortunate all at the same time. I've had the opportunity to see poverty right in my face. I've seen children barefoot I was in South Africa, and I've seen poverty head on. And it's something where it's not just here, it's globally, it's around the world. So the whole idea and goal of Red Nose Day was to create a world that was free from poverty. And if you really think about it, uh, with, you know, I know you think for a second, how can a dollar, $1, little red nose, or anything else, how can that change the world? Well, like anything else, you have that ripple in the pond effect. You have that one little pebble that lands in the ocean, and then it causes the ripple, and it goes off, and it can cause a tidal wave. So this is why, you know, little old me on YouTube, as opposed to having all kinds of sponsorships and all that, why I'm here to promote the second annual Red Nose edition of Insight with Moonshadow. So now also too, anything that you, if you can, feel free to use the hashtag Red Nose Day US Day, hashtag Red Nose Day US Day, Red Nose Day USA, or just hashtag Red Nose Day. But also mention something where it may be late for you to start giving or making or fundraising towards it. But I was just talking to a manager that was at a local middle school, and they got pied in the face by children. All the teachers have volunteered to get pied in the face for Red Nose Day. They raised I believe it was $561 towards Red Nose Day in one little afternoon. So this is what's really, really impactful about Red Nose Day, and why do it? Why not do it, right? Because ultimately, not only is it for a good cause, our children are really our future. And we need to help educate our children to know. Like, while I was in Walgreens, I was educating one young boy that his mother obviously had mentioned to him Red Nose Day too, because they had red noses at home, but I gave him 2 more. And I said, even though you're that small, even you can change the world a little bit just by wearing a red nose, or just by telling people about Red Nose Day. So it's really, really all about awareness. It's really all about getting out there. It's really all about putting yourself in helping and letting people know what Red Nose Day is really all about. Now, it's not just children's poverty. You know, this is going on for, we have so much cruelty, and the world is so divided today. It's become a very hate-filled place. Periscope has also become a bit of that too. I have seen a lot of scopes, but I will say this, there are a lot of really positive people on Periscope, and I hope and pray, and I keep on wishing good juju for all the good in the Perry Society to be out there, all the live streaming community to bring out more of the good and less of the negative, because the negative does get attached to you. It's just something that just sticks to you, and it's something you want to get rid of. Now, also too, the very first Red Nose Day was held in 1988, and millions of people participated in its first year. Millions of people. So just imagine that for a second. Yes, this nose is probably going to fall, and henceforth why I get the shirt and the bell and the hat. I'm not wearing the hat though, because that'd be over the top. But also too, Red Nose Day has raised over 1 billion globally, and they've impacted already 2.6 million children. Okay, and that's because of just 2016, and that was 2.6 million children. So you can also find out more by going to rednoseday.org as well, or Red Nose Day, the impact. You can look at the website. I feel free and go and find out about it, fact check it, and give a few dollars. Even if you just buy a few red noses. Like, I bought a few red noses and I already gave them away. I just bought a ton of them and I just started giving them away to prepare the awareness, to let people know that you too can make a change in the world just by wearing your red nose on one day. So that would be really important. But like I said, it starts at home. Teach your kids, teach your children that they too have a voice. They too have power to make changes in the world. And that's really, really important. Now, since 2015, another little factoid, Red Nose Day in America has raised over $60 million to help kids and young people in need. So let's think about that for a second. $60 million to help children and young people in need. Now, you think $1, just $1. All you're thinking about is $1 at this moment. Now, of course, this supports projects that ensure kids are safe. You got they make sure they're healthy, empowered, educated. It funds programs in all 50 states in some of the poorest countries in Latin America, Asia, and Africa. And I will tell you, I was in South Africa, and I'll tell you the poverty level there is exponential. So it's really, really important for us to be aware of not only just our neighborhood, but really what's out there in the world, because there are a lot of poor people out there. And instead of judging and criticizing or putting them down or kicking them when they're down, it's really unnecessary. It's so much easier for us to uplift each other. So this is all a big part of why I go ahead and strap on a red nose. And I'm actively going to be now this year. It's a little different from last year. I want to say I'm getting, I have an incredible support team, and I've got a great couple of producers that help in the build up and in the show itself, in the broadcast. So I want to thank Ariel as well as Dawn Marie, two people very much and very important people on Team Insight with Moonshadow. So I appreciate, and Ariel is right here in the broadcast on both YouTube Live as well as Periscope. And hopefully the snow stays on. I'm hoping. Now, what does a dollar donation go to? Okay, what does it do? $1, what does it do? Now, sometimes we just drop $1 without even knowing it. And as much as money is so important to us, and we don't make enough and all that, just $1 alone can provide 11 meals for hungry children through food banks. 11 meals. $1. That's it, just $1. Now, a $10 donation can provide immunizations for for a child in need, or a safe place for at-risk children in America to go during summer and after school. So this is just, these are little factoids that people, they disregard. Now also too, you want to research a charity. Absolutely. I went ahead and I had to speak with a manager at Walgreens to know exactly what it was. I needed to ask people to find out, does this charity actually legit give all the proceeds to the cause? And it does. It does. To the tune, like I said, of billions, millions and billions of dollars for it to go across the world and help people, children everywhere. Now, here's another little factoid as well. $30 donation. What does that do? That can provide one person with access to clean water. $30. Okay, that is 6 Starbucks coffees. Now that's like a week worth of Starbucks. And that can give a person access to clean water in Uganda. So this is what I'm saying. It's that little ripple. All we have is a little pebble. All we need is a little pebble. All we need is a voice. That's all we need. That's all we've ever needed. But we forget, just because you're not someone huge, or someone with a major voice, or someone with a major 500 Forbes 500 company or whatever. A lot of people think that they don't have power to make change. I have actually seen children fundraise and give more money towards charity than some adults I know. Not even kidding. I've seen more kids impact the lives of other children. Another example. I knew someone personally that her children wrote letters to soldiers. Okay, they purposely wrote letters to soldiers that could be sent out. For soldiers, they drew for them and everything. These are children. Now you would think that is that a big deal? Of course it is. Because thinking about being somebody in need and soldiers, protecting our freedom and everything, to open up a package and have a drawing from a child from the US to say, I really appreciate you for protecting us. That's big. So this is not just really about Red Nose Day. This is the focal point. But ultimately, this is the bottom line. All you need is your voice. Nowadays, we've got all this social media. We've got all these social platforms that we could go ahead and put out there. Let's take off this nose for a moment. Give my nose a break. But all of this with just a voice, with a tweet. Now, we've got people tweeting policy. I'm not going to go there. However, with the proper voice and doing the right thing for the right reason to make things better in the world, you can use your social media to make the difference. You can make the difference in the world. So whether it be wearing a red nose, ringing a bell, walking into a Walgreens and giving merchandise and red noses away, all of that, it makes a change. So tonight, there's going to be a big, huge show that they do it every year on May the 25th. Also, too, I have to say happy birthday to my mom. Happy birthday! It's her birthday today, and so it's also Red Nose Day, and it's her birthday. So it's win-win. Definitely. So ultimately, by using your voice and using social media for the right reasons, you too can make a major difference. Now, you've heard of the old game of telephone. Someone says one rumor, and then that rumor gets spread, and then before you know it, the original story is changed after 5 or 6 people in. Well, it's the same thing with positivity. It's the same thing with good. But it's exponential with good, though, because then you have the universe's okay to really put it out there. You have that ability to really put out that good juju and that good energy to make things even better. So ultimately, that's really, really important. Okay. Now, also too. Now let's continue on with the Red Nose Day facts, shall we? So now, what does a $50 donation do? $50. Now that is maybe, I don't know, $50. That's maybe a night at the movies, popcorn, or a nice dinner, say. So to sacrifice one nice dinner at a restaurant, you can go ahead and provide 1 year's tuition, supplies, and textbooks for a child in a developing country. $50. So for the price of one textbook here in the U.S., and believe me, I'm college educated and I know this, $50 is cheap for a textbook. So for $50, you can actually provide 1 year tuition, supplies, and textbooks for a child. That's important. Now that's massive. Now, see, we forget about this stuff because, of course, we have our own life gets in the way. Even John Lennon said, Life is what happens when we're busy making plans, and I get that. And I as well, there's like always a laundry list of things that need to get done, always things that need to be done, things that need to get done, things you have to do. But this is really important. This is why I step up and make it a point to bring awareness to Red Nose Day. I wish that I had understood or became aware of Red Nose Day sooner. Now, way back when Patch Adams came out, when Robin Williams wore a red nose in this movie, and Patch Adams, I actually wore a red nose prior to that without even knowing it. I just was trying to lighten the air and lighten the energy many years ago. And so I wore this big, huge clown tie, this blue, white polka dotted with blue tie that was down to like my knees, in a red nose, in a suit. And I did that just because, to bring some lightness into being to people, because, and back then the world wasn't even half as bad as it's going now. It's not half as dismal that it's happening now. It wasn't as divided that it is now. But I just figured, you know what? If I can make a couple of people smile, that's all that matters. That's good. If I can change the energy of just one person, just for them to smile. And when I did that, for the couple of days that I did that, yeah, it was quite interesting. I'm sure some people thought I was insane. I'm sure some people thought I was ill in some certain way or form. But then there were other people that laughed, snickered, joked, and loved it. Some people completely ignored me. Now, just imagine a dude standing next to you in the supermarket, a suit with a big ass clown tie and a red nose. Hard to ignore. But I was standing right next to them, grocery shopping, and they just like, and that's all I got. But that's okay. Inside, they must have been smiling. Inside, or thinking that I was a crazy loon. But either or, it didn't matter. There was some impact, some positive impact, I hope. And this is all something that is really, really super important. A lot of times we forget, in the minutiae of our lives, we forget that, you have things to do and all this, but, it doesn't take much. I just gave away some noses. That changed quite a bit. Okay. I provided 11 meals for hungry children throughout food banks with just a few noses. And that's 11 meals for one nose. So think about this for a second. So also too, now I felt alone without my nose. So now let's go on with, what does $100 do? Okay, $100 donation provides food. Get this. Now this is big. Food, clothing, shelter, and medical care to help a child off the street. $100. So how can you impact anybody with $100? Some people you can impact a lot, and other people you wouldn't. $100 in my life might maybe carry my phone bill, my cell phone bill or something. But to say that $100 can provide food, clothing, and shelter and medical care to help a child off the street, that's amazing. So these are all little pieces and all little moonsights to let you guys know that even though it may seem silly, if you research a cause or you research a charity and you realize that all the proceeds go to it, and if it's for the right reason, please do it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. It's something that if you could change the life of one person, just one person, with a few dollars, wouldn't that be awesome? Now, I will say this. I am not rich by much at all. In fact, I'm probably po. I'm so po I can't pay attention. But the point is this though. I would gladly give what I had to help someone else. And if it's a child in need, because a lot of us do have a roof over our head. A lot of us do have food in our cupboard. A lot of us do have, a car to drive around in. Some of these kids do not have any of this. And in some developing countries, and I've seen this personally, they don't even have plumbing. They go in the bathroom in a 5-gallon bucket. Something you use as a waste paper tray in your garage, a waste paper basket in your garage, is an actual toilet for someone every day. So this is something to really think about. And this is why I'm doing this today. Normally, Insight with Moonshadow is on Mondays at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock Pacific. But today, it's all about the nose. All about the red nose, mind you. Now, of course, Red Nose Day is a fundraising campaign. So you could, and it's all nonprofit, so you could go ahead and help Comic Relief Inc. to raise funds to help children all over the world. It's not just here. It's all over. Helping with water, with education, with medical relief, with immunizations, with schooling, with textbooks. All of it. So you can help them. And of course, you can also find out more about Comic Relief at comicrelief.org. And also all the donations are tax deductible. So not only do you give, you also get a little back too. So that's awesome as well. So wouldn't it be cool to just give a nose? Wouldn't it be good just to give a few bucks out of, and even if you can't necessarily fundraise completely, help your kids fundraise. You can do that. You could also donate at your nearest Walgreens. You still have time. You can leave right now. You can leave right now. Go to your Walgreens right now and donate to Red Nose Day. And you can do that. I totally won't be offended. And also, too, by the way, something else that you may not have known is that any donation processed through PayPal will also have another 1% added by PayPal through June 15th. So anything that you donate through a PayPal account, you are actually going to give more. Your dollar or your donation will be even more. It'll be, because PayPal will match it. They'll do the 1%. So they'll also up to June 15th. So I think that's pretty awesome. So ultimately, this is just something that, makes my heart smile to do this. And especially since, like I just gave noses to young and old, actually, at Walgreens. And only one person said, "Do I have to pay for this at the counter?" I was like, no, I took care of that. But the fact that you're putting the nose on right now means that you care about children's poverty. That you care about what happens in the world. And he goes, "I already have a red nose. I got a cold." And I'm like, yeah, last year I had a cold too. My nose kept on falling off because of my cold. And actually, my first red nose was given to me by someone else. So I was also paying it forward. And in fact, here is my very first red nose. This is the other red nose that I should have brought to Walgreens, but I didn't. I forgot it. I thought I had it in my pocket. So I bought another red nose. So I actually stole a red nose and then paid for it later because I bought a bunch of sponsored red nose. I bought some M&Ms and Skittles. And there's some other things. And I would turn around and show you the back, but there's a ton of sponsors. If you go to rednoseday.org, you should be able to see all the sponsors and what you can buy tonight, and the proceeds are going to go towards children's poverty. So that is pretty awesome stuff. Also, too, donations are matched dollar for dollar, up to $1 million through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation if you donate through the donate button on the Red Nose Day Facebook page. So there you go. Bill Gates. I got to give props to Bill Gates for doing that. So they're going to match $1 for dollar. They're going to match it on the Red Nose Day Facebook page. So definitely go on there, throw a couple of bucks, because now that makes old Bill having to pay a couple extra bucks. That is very, very cool. So that's another thing that you can go ahead and do. From your house, you can go ahead and do that. It doesn't take much. It takes a little bit. Again, just that little pebble, just that little bit of juju. And looking at it now, unfortunately, all the people that at Walgreens, they were working, but I'll tell you, it was really nice to see everyone they're really passionate about the kids, because it's, yeah, you work for Walgreens and yeah, you have to wear a red shirt, maybe not, whatever. But these people actually were really proud to really be about it. And they sold out a lot. They still had a lot of red noses there. But the thing was, last year, it was really hard for me to find a red nose. It was really, really difficult for me to find red noses last year. So I made sure I bought a stock of them this year, because I gave a bunch away and I kept a couple for myself. So we could, and I also had someone give me another red nose this year, which was awesome as well. So ultimately, it's really all about, what can I do? What can I say? What can I do? What actions can I take to really make the world a better place? And this is a good start. So May of every year, May 25th, is Red Nose Day. It started in the UK. It is now in the US, where we're functioning in being able to help kids everywhere, developmental countries as well as here, developing countries. Also, too, we have the fact, and we have the ability, just by buying a few things that you would buy anyway. A lot of people buy M&Ms. A lot of people buy, Skittles. I think Starburst, was also another one that was also sponsoring Red Nose Day. But the point is, these are things that you're going to do anyway. Now, you do silly things for your kids usually anyway, silly projects and things for school. So why not add this and make it a family event? All wear red noses. Maybe buy a bunch of red noses and go cruise around your town. Now, of course, having your kids give away red noses, wouldn't that be cool? But all of it would go towards the cause. All of it, all the proceeds would go towards children and their health and well-being. And now my show is, at this point, this episode here is the 71st episode of Insight with Moonshadow. So I've been really preaching mind, body, and spirit stuff much longer than 71 episodes in my life, but now bringing it to live stream, it's even better. So this is something that's really, really important, and something that really resonates with my heart to be able to put out there so people can see it, people can know it. You can do something about it. Red nose break. Pretty soon I'm going to have an automatic red nose, I think, by the squishiness of my nose. Now also too, Walgreens offers other items, okay, such as pens, pins, hats, etc. And you may be able to buy a shirt. Now this year you couldn't buy a shirt, but I kind of spoke to them about it, and I got a shirt too. I also donated money and bought a shirt as well. But they have all kinds. I already have a pen, I already have a mug, I already got the hat, I already got the shirt from last year, and another shirt this year. Noses galore. They even have a big red nose you can put on your car. They have headbands with red noses on the ends if you don't want to put it on your nose. And again, all of it, other than the taxes, goes towards children's poverty. All of it. So now, for you, it wouldn't take much. It doesn't take much. A little goes a long way. So you could bring Red Nose Day awareness by sharing this broadcast. You could focus, and you can send photos on social media. You can use the hashtag Red Nose Day. You can also go ahead and do screen captures. Put it on Twitter. You can also go on rednoseday.org partners /partners for all the sponsors that are giving money towards Red Nose Day. So this is something, and also, even if you've missed out on this little itty bitty broadcast here, this small little YouTuber person here, with my little show, do catch it tonight. I wish I knew exactly what channel it was, but I will find out before this broadcast is up. We can tell you. I believe it's NBC. Also, too, just in breaking news, if you want a shirt, you can also go in shopuniform.com packages Red Nose Day to get one. So you can get a shirt too. The power of my producers. You guys are awesome. Right now I have one producer happening today. So Ariel, you rock. I really appreciate your help in what you're doing, because this is, and again, every little effort counts. So in a lot of ways, we all have to help each other, and this is just proof positive that just because what you see in front of the screen, behind the screen, there's a lot going on. I wished that I had scoped everything, that I had scoped me running around like a fool, ringing this bell, giving away red noses, but next year I am sure that I will be doing so. It's going to be bigger and better next year. And it's going to be better planned, because of course life is messy, and what can we do to make things, things are what they are. Absolutely. So now, what do you think about Red Nose Day? Feel free to type in the chat what you feel about Red Nose Day. If you've done anything for Red Nose Day. If you're planning on doing anything for Red Nose Day. Or if you choose, or if you do something else for another charity. If there's another charity that touches your heart. Feel free to share it. And even if you don't share it here with me right now, share it with the world. Hashtag it. Tweet it. Put it on Periscope. You got Busker, you got Periscope, you've got Facebook Live, you have YouNow, you've got a ton of platforms. You've got Instagram, Pinterest. All of these places can make you into a phenomenally powerful social activist. So it takes very little. A little effort goes a long way. And this is one of the reasons why I do what I do. One of the reasons. So ultimately, what does wearing a red nose do? Anywhere from bringing drinking water, education, immunizations, tuition to children in developing countries, all with wearing a red nose or buying M&Ms. Something this simple can change and cause a ripple in the world. It's that simple. And yes, to get the interesting looks that when you're driving a red Jeep with a red nose, it's quite interesting. But I would do it all day long for the right cause. And I believe this is the absolute one of the best causes. And this is why I've also been so passionate about this. Welcome, Anna. Welcome, welcome. And thank you so much. Hopefully you had the chance to grab a red nose this year. Hopefully. But yes, we're moving things in a more empowering direction with bigger and better things here at the show. So having the added plus of having a producer work in the background to help me be my absent-minded professor, crazy lunatic, social activist, shaman, weird guy way. It's nice to have support to back me up and to get me out there and to help. Because it takes a lot to rein in insanity. I will say that. It takes a whole lot to rein in insanity. And I'm all about that. It's all about really giving out in the world and putting out good juju and putting out good content and be able to really cause, I don't want to say even cause a ripple, but cause a tidal wave of good. And right now, we really need a lot more good. The world has really become a crazy place, and not the good kind of crazy. So it's really important for you to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And being part of the solution, it may be by wearing a red nose or by, posting positive things on your social feeds, or you're just helping in the background. It could be anonymous. Now, there was no camera on me when I was giving red noses away at Walgreens, and I gave away red noses also earlier too, out in the street, and I didn't have a camera on me. It was just some crazy guy in a Boston cap giving away red noses and talking about, children's poverty and about today. And that's all it was, So this is what it's really all about. And this is why I'm here today. Special edition, of course. And the third annual is going to be probably even bigger and better because I already have ideas for next year that are going to be far better. And hopefully next year I'll have someone holding the phone or potentially even a camera and also live streaming it as well. Maybe right from inside Walgreens and have a big thing. Maybe set up something. Maybe do an event right out of the local Walgreens because they seem to be pretty open to allowing this crazy YouTuber guy to come in and ring a bell, give some noses away, all of that. It was really, really awesome. I really enjoyed it. And of course, for a good cause, it's really the good part. You know. Now, also too, I did try to work on Facebook Live as I usually am every week, but Facebook Live did not agree. The platform the past couple of weeks has not been good, and I don't know why, but it's been really, really bad. So I will try to put up some posts regarding Red Nose Day also on Insight with Moonshadow on Facebook, as well as on Twitter and my social media. And of course, you can catch all my replays from YouTube, usually on my website as well. I'm behind a couple of shows because things have been really chaotic, but I will be getting all those shows in, finished editing, uploaded, and back in very, very soon. Also, too, we are working on getting, we're also working on getting to be able to live stream through YouTube live. So that all that takes is more subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please tell your friends and have them pop in, subscribe to the channel, because the sooner that is, that means more remotes. That means I could go ahead and stream live from almost anywhere. You've already seen, you know, I've live streamed from the West Coast, and who knows? The sky's the limit. I'm already looking at other locations that will be great to live stream from, and also to bring awareness to other parts of the world, other charities, other things, other topics, other conversations, other people's stories. So that's really, really important. And also, too, another little factoid here, you could even make cookies with red sprinkles and post photos on social media and go ahead and put the hashtag Red Nose Day to raise awareness. It doesn't take much. Wear a nose. Snap a selfie. You guys know you guys snap selfies all the time. Snap a selfie with a red nose. I'll be doing that. I haven't done that yet because I'm not super into selfies myself. I don't put selfies up that often. But for Red Nose Day, you know damn well I'm going to be putting up a Red Nose Day selfie for tonight. And you could post a photo with your a pin, your nose, a shirt. You know, I may post a photo, which this is probably really bad with audio. But nose is on, people. This is really cool. I love my freaking bell. I tell you, that was like awesome. So this is all really, really important. And this is something that you could do to raise awareness for children. Now, if you don't have children, or if you do have children, it doesn't make a difference. Since it takes a village to raise a child, we are a global village. And this is one of the things that makes me do what I like to do. This is one of the reasons why I don't care about, you know, honestly, I've done some foolish things for a laugh. I've done some foolish things to make people smile. Call me crazy, but I don't care. But the fact is, if it changed the situation or the energy of one person for 1 minute, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You know? That's all that matters. So if you followed my social media, you follow my social post, I will put everything from provoking really big things or new technology that helps the world to be a better place, whatever it may be. One of my last social posts was about being judged. We're all judged. Don't be one of those people that judge and criticize. It already happens too much. So, I'm wearing a red nose sitting here on live media. Why? Because it's well worth it, and Hell, man, it's a nose. It's awesome. I like clowning around. Clowns are cool, unless you're afraid of clowns. Then no red nose for you. Or a red nose but no makeup. I'm already funny looking as is. But the whole point of it is you have a voice, and you could be part of that solution, or you could be part of the problem. You could piss and moan about how bad the world is today, or you can actually take the time to do something nice for somebody else. You can pay it forward for someone else. And it doesn't just have to be Red Nose Day. On occasion, I'll just buy a coffee for someone, random stranger, just because. Just because. Does it really matter if they're a stranger or someone you know or whatever? No, doesn't matter. But paying it forward, putting out good juju out there, being someone that wants to bring awareness and change, positive change to the world. And this is where I got to say, where I miss being on like Periscope, for example. I see a lot of great people on Periscope. I see a lot of amazing people on Busker. And I try to connect with all the positivity I can with all of my social media. And I try to spread good juju out wherever I can. But a lot of times we see a lot of dysfunction and a lot of disheartening stuff. We see a lot of bad information. We see a lot of crap, unfortunately. And it's sad. It makes me sad to even be mentioning it, because we should really be about more good than bad. But in the world today, it really comes down to that we really need to step it up. More people need to be the light in the darkness. More people need to raise awareness just on the kindness of the world. It doesn't matter who you voted for. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter. We are all the same tribe. We are all people. We all bleed the same. We are all, it doesn't matter what social class you are. We all have needs. Going back a couple of shows ago, a couple of broadcasts ago, I spoke about we're all special and we all have needs. We're all challenged in some way. So we should all help each other. We should all, and all basic, it's all basic kindness, basic affection, basic love for people, unconditional love. And all of this really makes a difference. All of it really, really does. So red noses aside, you have the opportunity and you have the chance to make the world a different place by using your voice. By, if you want to think politically, about making the right vote. If you want to think about activism, about, making cookies for your next door neighbor that's hurting. Reach out to your neighbors. Volunteer at your school or your children's school. Give books to a reading program. Just last week, I mentioned about a little girl that was turning 7. Not getting gifts, she was actually giving gifts to children that didn't have them. Now, this is a 6-year-old kid going on 7. We could learn a whole lot by the wisdom of such a small little human being. And this is why I want to be part of it. Join the resistance, if you will. Be part of the light side of the force, not the dark. We've got enough of the dark. Now it's time to bring the light in. If you are a spiritual person, donate to your church, or I'm sure your church donates and helps people in need. All of that makes a difference. Or just if you say a prayer or send good juju out to people, that's good too. Just wish people well. That's also important. It really doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't take a lot to be able to go out there and do something kind for somebody else. I know it may seem difficult. I know it may seem hard. I know it's a rough place. There are people getting beat up for no apparent reason. I've seen some things on social media where, people are getting into fights for no apparent reason, no real good reason. Just because what, they're frustrated, angry, upset, anxious, whatever it is. So honestly, try to be part of the solution. Try to be part of the world. Try to be part of that point where you're reaching out to people from everywhere. I know people that from all over the world, and when I say I've done healing internationally, I'm not kidding. And does it matter? Does it matter if it's a person in Africa that I've helped, or a person in the UK that I've helped, or a person in Ireland that I've helped, or a person in Florida, Reno, or California, or wherever it may be, Mexico, New Mexico. That doesn't matter. We all have our needs, and we can make the world a better place. So that's the important part. That's why I do what I do. And that's why I'm here. And you can do the same. You don't have to be wearing a red nose or a red t-shirt. But you, in your own way, you can make a difference in the world. We're all given the ability to have these amazing brains. Use your power for good. Enough people use the power for not so good. A lot of people do that. Put your ego down aside. Put it aside. Rest your monkey mind for a minute and think about what you can do for someone else. Even if it's just a minute. Even if it's just for a minute. I will tell you this. If, say, all the people of a state, never mind, let's say I'm going to go bigger. Say, for example, if everybody in the United States of America, in the U.S., just in the U.S., thought simultaneously the same good thought, do you know the impact that could make? That'd be massive. Talk about revolution. That would be immediate. But I can only hope that that could happen. And this is part of my way of being able to just put it out here. To just, and the red nose is one of the focal points of the excuse, Red Nose Day. But really, it's all about becoming a social activist. And also, too, you can go ahead on Phoenix Rising, PhoenixRisingHealingArts.com. You can also find there's a tab strictly that says be a social activist. And you could go there. There's a bunch of charities that really touch my heart. And Red Nose Day is in there. And all these charities that you too can go ahead and choose one or another. You can give money, or you can buy a product, or you could give to that charity. Anything from moon bears, yes, they do exist as moon bears, all the way till Gravity Light, Red Nose Day, education for kids in Africa, to water.org, to the Humane Society, you name it, it's there. So ultimately, you can be the voice. You can go ahead and make the change. Believe me when I tell you that you have more power than you know. You do. So we're going to be closing up the broadcast for today, for the special edition of Red Nose Day. I hope that I gave you a lot of information about Red Nose Day, and it's going to be even better next year, and it's going to be bigger next year. It may even be on location next year. Fingers crossed. But understand this. You have the ability. You have a voice. You have a mind, and you have a heart, and you have a spirit that has the ability to make major, major change. All it takes is for you to initiate that power you have, because we are all souls in having a human experience. So if you light up that soul of yours, put down that ego, and realize I too can make a change. You too can make a change right here, right now. Like I said, $1 makes a huge difference. So just imagine one voice, one post. If all of us did a social media post on any given platform, all of it, it could make the entire difference in the world. So, as my nose is continuously falling off, what can you do? So, be the voice, be the strength, be the heart, be the brain, be the strength of the world in your own way. Give to something that touches your heart, whether it's children, whether it's poverty, whether it's hunger, whether it's literacy. Oh, and that's another thing. There's betterworldbooks.com. You buy a book from them, they match dollar for dollar. I don't know if they're still doing that now, but I know up till a bit ago they were doing that. So, okay, you buy a book from them, they match it. And that's for global literacy. So this is just a few things that you could do to make the world a better place. So I'm going to close out the broadcast today. I'm going to thank all of you on Periscope as well as YouTube Live. I miss my Facebook peeps. It's unfortunate Facebook Live didn't work out, but c'est la vie. We adapt. We adapt here at Inside with Moonshadow. So I want to thank you all for spending time with me here on Inside with Moonshadow on this special Red Nose Day edition. Nose is on, baby. You are my inspiration on why I do these things, why I bring these conversations up, all of it. So now, if you feel guided to connect and support, feel free to check out, follow, and subscribe to my social media. You can also connect on YouTube. You can also connect on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. It's all on phoenixrisinghealingarts.com. And last but not least, I want to thank you all. I want to thank my producer and my producer on call today, as well as all of Team Insight and people that bring up their suggestions and their thoughts and their things and their kudos and everything. I want to thank you all too for all the support and love that you give me. And as always, be strong, be amazing, be you. God bless. Take care. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming.